Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Got to the end of the week already. We've got a cool band to check out again today. We've had them on the channel quite recently actually, and they've gone back on again with this latest brand new release. As this video is coming out now, it's also premiering on their channel at the same time. So we'll try and get some views over here, but I'd really appreciate as well if you could head over to their channel. The links are always all in the description, and give their video a like and let them know that you come from over here. That'd be sick. Now these are a cool band. We've checked them out before. Old School death metal. I'll just say what it says on their page here. The good old HM2 driven style of classic old school death metal never gets old. The music is punishing and brutal, but not without nuance or atmosphere. Cool. We like a bit of atmosphere in our death metal for sure. It's nice to get pure blasting, but I must admit it's always nicer when you get a bit of atmospheric edge in there as well. As I say, this one is absolutely brand new. It's going to be dropping as it comes out on their channel right at this point as well. This is called The Left Hand of God. It's got an official video for it as well, which I wanted to show off on the show. Let's check this one out. Yeah, the toys on those Englands. Yeah. Nourish the blood flame of Kali Yuga, singing in God's name, procreation of hell. Yeah. Holy, wicked, fixes, sacred, demon, corpses, sacrifices, mighty, mortal, the left hand of God. Sick. Such a great tone. Thickness and fuzz on that guitar tone. Crazy. Just hear the power of it. Great job on the video as well, super high quality, looked proper for a proper death metal video as well. Sick job, very, very nice. No wonder they wanted us to show it off on the channel as well. Sick. These guys absolutely killed it on this one, and they call themselves old school death metal, and they definitely are, but they're not necessarily sounding like an old school death metal band, because there's no old school death metal bands that were that up in your ears, fuzzed out, powerful and heavy, because we only get that from the modern mixes. So it sounded absolutely sick on the ears. We actually don't, I always go on about gear, and whenever we see the band in the video, I'm always looking at what gear and amps and stuff they're using, and we don't actually get a lot of Engel amps coming through on the show. We get a nice amount of Orange and PV and Marshall and stuff, but Engel, it's still a rare amp. They are quite expensive amps to get your hands on as well, and pretty rare. But we still don't get many come through, but man, we should, because I think the Engel amp has got a sick tone, and a bit like an Orange amp sounds different to every single other amp. It's just got its own tone and sound and distortion to it. Same can be said for the Engel amp as well. It's got a fuzzy, teary, bubbling, ripping tone to it, especially when you add a bunch of pedals and stuff in front of it as well. I think it sounds sick. I like to use the Engel amp simulators, because I haven't got an amp. I don't even own a single amp, but I certainly wouldn't be shelling out for an Engel amp either, because they are expensive. But yeah, I love to use the amp tones, but what you do find is with the Engel amp is you have got whereas you might kind of put the gain dial on a Marshall amp to maybe 7 or 8 to get a nice thick tone on it, you might only need 3 or 4 on an Engel amp to get the same thickness and tone. And if you crank it to 7 or 8, it actually loses its edge, because it's just too much distortion at that point. It only works on certain types of riffs, more kind of slower, drawn out stuff, I find. But if you're doing nice tight stuff, if you crank an Engel amp up, it's just going to sound like a big distorted mess, because it's just rammed that hard through, it's just gained up to the max Engel amps are. I think it sounds sick drumming in this one as well. Really appreciated all the tinging away on the ride. Had a nice deep ting to it as well. It wasn't kind of a high pitched one. It's like dong. Sounded great. Vocals sounded great as well. Looked dope in the video. And that bass just complemented that sick, dirty guitar tone, and gave it the low end power that it needed. Dope. I thought these guys killed it. They sounded heavy as hell, fuzzed out as hell. The mix was loud and pumped up. And yeah, they're old school, but man, no old school band sounded quite as nice as that did on the record back in the 90s and shit. Just didn't happen. Sick. So I'm really happy that these guys are sticking about with the channel and sending us over their music on the day that it releases as well, so that we can help them out. As I say, I'd really appreciate if you enjoyed this track, head over to their page now. The link's in the description, and just give it a like on their page as well, because then they'll know, when we get on that show, it's worth our time, because actually people get on board with our band and like our shit. Very, very cool. I'll be doing that myself. Hope you've had a good day, good week and everything this week, guys. Man, it's been another quick week, but that's it. There you go. We'll see you around, guys. Have a good weekend. Probably back for the Monday grind now, unless I decide to do something over the weekend. Have a good one. Bye.